Hello everyone, welcome to the lecture number 4 of our system stability. In this lecture, we will discuss equal area criteria. As shown in the diagram, see the power angle curve. PE electrical power output in per unit and versus delta in radian. Okay, this equal area criteria very useful for analysis of transient stability. Now, as you know that the real power transmitted over a lossless line that is given by this given by equation, that is P equal to P max sine delta, that is the power angle equation. Now let us consider the situation in which the synchronous machine is operating in steady state, delivering a power PE, that is delivering a power PA, that is accelerating power, equal to PM mechanical power, where when there is a fault occurs in any system, fault means unhealthy condition, opening up of the circuit breakers in the faulted section subsequently clears the fault. Okay, now the circuit breakers take about 5 to 6 cycles to open, and the subsequent post fault transient last for another few cycles, right? So the input power on the other hand is supplied by a prime mover that is usually driven by a steam turbine. So very important line, the time constant of the turbine mass system is of the order of few seconds, while the electrical system time constant is in milliseconds. So therefore, for all practical purpose, the mechanical power remains constant during this period when the electrical transient occur. Okay, now the transient stability study therefore concentrates on the ability of the power system to recover from the fault and deliver the constant power PM with a possible new लोड एंगल डेल्टा. सो वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, जो टाइम कांस्टेंट होता है टरबाइन मास सिस्टम का वो कुछ फ्यू सेकंड्स का होता है, बल्कि जो टाइम कांस्टेंट हमारा इलेक्ट्रिकल सिस्टम्स का है वो मिली सेकेंड होता है. दैट्स वाई. नाउ लेट अस कंसीडर power angle curve as shown in figure here. Suppose that this is operating in steady state, delivering a power PM at an angle delta 0. Here PM at angle delta 0. When due to malfunction of the line, circuit breakers open, reducing the real power transferred to 0. Since PM remains constant, the accelerating power PA becomes equal to PM mechanical power. Now the difference in the power gives rise to the rate of change of stored kinetic energy in the rotor masses. Thus the rotor will accelerate under the constant influence of non-zero accelerating power, and hence the load angle will increase. Now suppose that the circuit breakers reclose at an angle delta C. The power will then revert back to the normal operating curve. At that point, the electrical power will be more than the mechanical power and the accelerating power will be negative. This will cause the machine decelerate. So, however, due to the inertia of the rotor masses, the load angle will still keep on increasing. So the increase in this angle may eventually stop and the rotor may start decelerating. Otherwise, the system will lose synchronism. So this is the main idea behind the transient stability study. Now, so start the equal area criteria of stability. This is the derivation part as shown in slide. Equal area criteria may be used to assess the transient stability of a two machine system or one machine connected to an infinite bus without actually solving the swing equation. As you all know, swing equation in the last lecture, that is md square delta by dt square, that is equal to pa, okay, accelerating power. So consider a loss-free synchronous generator supplying an infinite bus through a purely reactive transmission line of reactance XL, as shown in figure. The electrical power transferred, that is given by this power angle equation, P equal to P max sin delta. So in figure shown the power angle curve. This is figure 19.14. The power angle curve is shown here. Let us suppose initially the mechanical input under shaft power is PS naught. This PS naught. It is represented by a point A on the power angle curve. Let the mechanical input power suddenly increase to PS1. With the sudden increase of shaft power, there is momentarily more shaft input than electrical output. So the increase in power PS1 minus PS0 accelerates the rotor so that it is advanced with respect to the initial position, with the result that load angle is increased. So the difference. Okay. Let this new load angle be delta 1 here, corresponding to power PS1. Since the rotor is in acceleration and running slightly above synchronous speed, the load angle goes on increasing, overshooting point B. See the point B here. When the load angle is more than delta 1, the rotor retards since the power transfer to the bus bar is greater than input power PS1. The rotor decelerates until it reaches some maximum point C, where it is again running at synchronous speed. The rotor swing starts in the reverse direction. The load angle goes on decreasing until it is equal to delta naught, where again the rotor is running at synchronous speed. So the cycle is repeated. The rotor will oscillate for some time about B, this point, before finally coming to rest at P. So here we have made an important assumption that the first swing or oscillation of the rotor does not make the system unstable. So in actual practice, the system is more likely to be stable during subsequent swings, particularly if it is stable for the subsequent steady state condition. This assumption may be justified by the fact that the losses of the system progressively damp the amplitude of the swing. So let us start the derivation with swing equation. As you all know, d squared delta by dt squared, that is equal to Pa by m. So multiplying both sides by 2 d delta by dt, and we have 2 d delta by dt, d square delta by dt square, that is equal to 2 Pa by m d delta by dt. So this step can also be written as by this step, d by dt of d delta by dt square, that is equal to 2 Pa by m d delta by dt. Okay. Now very important line, for synchronous running, the time rate of change of load angle must be 0. That means d delta by dt, that is equal to 0. Since the condition d delta by dt, that is equal to 0, implies synchronous running, so equation this is integrated between the limits of swing of delta, that means from delta equal to delta 0, where delta d delta by dt equal to 0, to delta equal to del 2, where delta d delta by dt, that is equal to 0. So on integrating equation number 3, 19.17.3, we have डी स्क्वायर डी डेल्टा बाई डी टी का होल स्क्वायर दैट इज इक्वल टू 2/m इंटीग्रल डेल्टा 0 to डेल्टा 1 पी ए डी डेल्टा. So for stability, as we know that d delta by dt that is equal to 0. So integral delta 0 to delta 2 p a d delta equal to 0. Now we can break this limit into parts here, delta 0 to delta 1 p a d delta and delta 1 to delta 2 p a d delta that is equal to 0. This can also be written as delta 1 to delta 0 to delta 1 p a d delta that is equal to minus of delta 1 to delta 2 p a d delta. So this is the area A1 and this is the area A2. So A1 equal to minus A2, where delta 0 to delta 1 that in integral delta 0 to delta 1 p a d delta, this is called the positive accelerating area, positive or accelerating area. This is equal to the amount of work done on the rotor to move it from point A to point B as shown in a power angle curve, in increasing the kinetic energy of the rotor. A2 delta 1 to delta 2 P A d delta, this is negative or decelerating area, the amount of work done on the rotor to move it from point B to point C when the rotor returns its energy to the circuit. So since the positive or accelerating area A1 is equal to the negative or decelerating area A2, it is called the equal area criteria of stability. So thus for stability, area A1 is equal to area A2. Now this is the limiting case of transient stability with mechanical input suddenly changed. So as we know, the criteria gives the maximum swing of the rotor to a torque angle delta 2. Here delta 2. It is to be noted that delta 1 must lie within the steady state limit, that means delta 1 less or equal to 90 degree. But delta 2 may be greater than 90 degree as long as the equal area criteria is satisfied. So the criteria may be used to determine the maximum limit of power transfer without loss of stability. If the area A2 is less than area A1, the system is unstable. So for the system to remain stable, it is possible to find angle delta 2 such that A1 equal to A2. As PS1 is increased, a limiting condition is finally reached when A1 equals the area above the PS1 line as shown in the figure shown here. Under this condition, delta 2 acquires the maximum value, that is delta m, and that is equal to 180 minus delta 1. So the value of delta 2 here, that is equal to 180 minus delta 1. And if further increase in PS1 mechanical input power means that the area available for A2 is less than A1. So that excess kinetic energy causes delta to increase beyond point C, and the retarding power changes over to accelerating power with the system consequently becoming unstable. So it has thus been shown by the use of equal area criteria that there is an upper limit to sudden increase in mechanical input PS1 minus PS0 here for the system under consideration to remain stable. It may also be noted from this diagram that the system will remain stable even though the rotor may oscillate beyond delta equal to 90 degree so long as equal area criteria is met. The condition of delta equal to 90 degree is meant for use in steady state stability only and does not apply to the transient stability. It's a very important line. Now the equal area criteria is applicable only to a two machine system or one machine connected to infinite bus. It is not applicable to multi-machine system. So this is all about equal area criteria. Now let us consider example, numerical. A loss-free generator supplies 50 megawatt to an infinite bus. The steady state limit of the system being 100 megawatt. Determine whether the generator will remain in synchronism if the prime mover inputs is abruptly increased by 30 megawatt. So power angle curve here shown, P versus delta. Here 50 megawatt to an infinite bus. So this is the 50 megawatt mechanical power input line at an angle delta 1. When prime mover input is abruptly increased by 30, to 50 plus 30, that is 80. So 80 megawatt at an angle delta 2, and 100, this is the maximum value. So the power angle curve shown in figure, this is the solution part. The equation of the power angle curve, as we know that P equal to P max sin delta. This is the explanation. The initial operating point is A, here shown, where P equal to 50 megawatt. The prime mover input is abruptly increased by 30 megawatt. So the desired operating point is at B. This is point B. So that AG, this equal to 30 megawatt. The maximum swing of the rotor can be up to point C. The system will be stable if the area AGB is less than area BMC, this BMC. The load angle corresponding to point A and B can be found from the power angle equation. So at point A, P equal to 50 and delta equal to delta 1. So from this relation, P equal to P max sin delta, 50 equal to 100 sin delta 1, and we get delta 1 equal to 30 degree, and in radian this is 0.523 radian. Now at point B, P that is equal to 80 and delta equal to delta 2. So then we have P equal to P max sin delta 2, and we have delta 2 equal to 0.927 radian. Now objective is find the area A1. Okay, so how can you find area A1? Area A1, this area. This area, actually the area of this rectangle minus area of this curve. Okay, so area of rectangle GBFE minus area ABFE under the power angle sine curve. So we have EG into EF minus delta 1 to delta 2 P d delta. So 80 into delta 2 minus delta 1 to delta 2, 100 sin delta. After solving, we get 5.72 megawatt radian. Now area A2, similarly area BMC, this is actually the area of BMCHF under the sine curve, minus area of rectangle BCHF. So after solving, we get 17 megawatt radian. So here area A1 is less than area A2, the system is stable. Okay, now here another numerical. A generator with constant excitation supplies 30 megawatt through a step up transformer and a high voltage line to an infinite bus bar. If the steady state stability limit of the system is 60 megawatt, this is Pmax. Estimate the maximum permissible sudden increase of generator output resulting from a sudden increase in prime mover input if the stability is to be maintained. The resistance of the generator, transformers and line may be neglected. So in this question, we have to find P1, what is the sudden increase in input. Okay, so this is the power angle curve, P versus delta. Here 30 megawatt initially mechanical input, and what is this sudden increase in mechanical input. So we have to find the difference. So in this, this is the maximum value 60. So again, by power angle equation, P equal to P max sin delta, area A1, this is AGB, and this is BMC, area A2, BMC and AGB. So area A1, we have delta 1 to delta 2, P1 minus 60 sin delta, same as in previous example. So apply area A1 equal to A2, finally applying these conditions, and we have angle and P at point A, P equal to 30 and delta equal to delta 1. So these value at point B, this P1 equal to 60 sin delta, same example as previous one. So after solving, we get delta 2 equal to 60.4 degree. Simple mathematics here. And finally, the maximum permissible sudden increase of load, what is the value here? P1, that is equal to 52.17 megawatt. So what is the increase? P1 minus 30. So this is the answer, 22.17 megawatt. Okay, so that's all for now. Thank you very much and wish you all good luck.